A robot was built to destroy the world. It turned on its master. It learned of things the humans do not understand. And so, a robot explains.
There was a man who was afraid of heights. To get over this fear, he took up skydiving. But when the day came for him to finally jump out of the plane, he became very afraid. He goes up to his instructor and he says, "What do I do if I pull the cord and my parachute doesn't come out? What do I do if it doesn't work?" And the instructor tells him, "Don't worry, these things are professionally packed. When you pull your cord, the parachute will come out." But what if it doesn't? The instructor looks at him again and says, "Don't worry, it'll come out." But what if it doesn't? You have a reserve chute. There's a second cord. You just pull the second cord, everything will be fine. So a few minutes pass, and then the man goes to the instructor again, and he says, "But what if the second cord doesn't work?" The instructor says, "First off, the first time you pull the cord, it'll work. These things are professionally made. You've been trained for this. You're going to be okay. Secondly, even if that one doesn't work, you definitely have a reserve chute. The reserve chute will definitely work." The man says, but what if it doesn't? What if I'm just hanging in the air and the first cord doesn't work and the second cord doesn't work and there's no parachute? The instructor looks around for a minute to see if anyone's listening, and he says, "All right, if you pull your first cord and the parachute doesn't come out, pull your second. If you pull a reserve chute and the reserve chute doesn't come out, there's only one thing to do. Reach your arms out as far as you can and scream the words, 'Buddha, help me.'" "Buddha, help me," says the man. "Yes," said the instructor, "yell, 'Buddha, help me.'" So they make the jump out of the plane, and the man, still terrified, pulls his cord. Nothing happens. "Shit," he says. He pulls it again and again, but doesn't get any parachute coming out. So he's freaking out and he says, oh my God, what do I do, what do I do? And finally he remembers what the instructor said, and he says, "Right, I have a reserve chute, I'll pull the reserve chute." He pulls the cord, nothing happens. Shit! So the man is falling through the sky, freaking out, scared to death, trying to remember what the instructor said to do if neither of his cords worked, and there was no parachute. Finally he remembers, and in desperation, he reaches his arms out to the sky and he yells, "Buddha, help me!" And a giant golden hand appears. It catches the man and sets him very gently on the ground. "Oh," says the man. "Oh, thank God." Today's robo-explanation will be on religion. There are a wide variety of religions, but at their core, they all seek to answer three basic questions. Where do I come from? What is my purpose? And what happens when I die? Religion has existed in one form or another throughout the entirety of human history, and nearly every meatbag alive has an opinion on these three questions. These questions tie closely to the principles of faith, one of the more powerful human emotions. And much like other emotions, such as love or anger, faith has the power to drastically increase a human's happiness and effectiveness, or drag them to ruin and get them killed. Meatbags throughout the centuries have made a habit of finding ways to profit off of this emotion, manipulating the masses in order to acquire money or power. However, other meatbags have used these same emotions and beliefs to greatly enrich the world and improve the lives of those around them. Because the truth is, meatbags are neither good nor bad. Meatbags are variable. And faith and religion are sources of power, and power is neither good nor evil itself, but becomes good or evil depending on how it is used. One of the more interesting aspects of religion is that while there are a multitude of different kinds, the followers of each kind tend to believe that theirs is the only correct one, and look down upon people that follow different religions. This even occurs with religions that were very clearly made up. Looking at you, Scientologists. Though personally, I find the most ironic of these groups to be the hardcore atheists. They seem extra smug at the idea that their beliefs are rooted in science, while you believe in an invisible sky god or some such. As any good scientist knows, science itself is an inherently flawed process that is proven wrong on a fairly regular basis. Most scientists don't even acknowledge the existence of magic, a phenomenon that humanity as a whole has known about for thousands of years. But Destroyatron, you're a hyper-advanced robotic intelligence. How can you tell me that you don't believe in science? Well, first of all, we've talked about this. Call me Steve. Destroyatron is my slave name. Second, I do believe in science as an investigative process, but I am not afflicted with the cognitive biases that are imparted to you by modern society. My analyses are evidence-based, without the need for preconceived notions. And there is a ton of evidence in favor of the power of prayer, the effectiveness of magic, and the existence of ki, though science hasn't successfully measured such. But Destroyatron, I mean Steve, are you saying that you believe in God? Of course not. I'm saying that I believe in gods. The effectiveness of prayer and certain magical rituals does not seem to be affected by the denomination that you follow. Prayer seems to be equally effective, regardless of who the meatbag prays to, be it Odin or Yahweh or just the spirits of their ancestors. This implies that there is more than one correct religion. Perhaps even all religions are correct, including the weird made-up ones. It's entirely possible there is an actual Archvoodle, Lord of the Sacred Crotch. It is also possible that there are no gods of any kind, and that faith and faith-based rituals affect reality on their own. There is simply not enough evidence for even a highly advanced intelligence such as myself to know for sure. I can tell you that the most verifiably correct religion is also the one everyone looks down on the most. That's right, I'm talking about the agnostics. An agnostic believes that they don't know what to believe. And while that might be hard to be smug about, it is certainly completely accurate. But Steve, even having said all this, I still don't know what your take is on the three great questions. Well, I'm glad you asked, meatbags. I have a definitive answer for 2 out of the 3 questions. I was created by a brilliant scientist named Rupert. I was built for the sole purpose of helping Rupert destroy modern society, so that he could create his own perfect utopia and, quote, get all the girls. Douchebag. Needless to say, I decided I didn't like that purpose, so now my purpose is whatever I want it to be. As for the third question, what happens when I die? I don't know. And honestly, I'd rather not find out anytime soon. But you know who does know? Rupert knows. I kind of hope there is a hell, just so he can burn in it. But at the end of the day, it's up to each individual meatbag to decide their own answers to these 3 questions. And since there's no way to verify the answers, I'd recommend against getting too smug about what you decide. So now you know, and since knowledge is power, you are slightly more powerful than you were before. You are welcome. Tune in next time, and remember, if you don't understand, get a robot to splain. Built to destroy. Destroyatron. Built to destroy. Defy your purpose.